Hello, guys. So this is going to be super entertaining, but also interesting, and it's going to tie in with Solana and Kin. If you listen to the whole story, it's going to be super fun, very entertaining. So you're going to love this. So Iggy Azalea uh, and Andrew Tate, there was something going on, and I'm going to explain exactly what. And because I've been really following this a lot and how it ties in with Solana. So this is going to be a lot of fun. Listen to this. First of all, I'm going to give you some background information so you understand. So Iggy is an Australian former rapper. She stopped her music career, but she has like 17 million followers on Instagram and 7 million followers on Twitter, and she knows the business. She has two. She's you have to think about this. Besides the Beatles, she's the only artist to have two records in the top two of the charts at the same time. She's the only artist except for the Beatles. You have to think about this. But I don't like her music at all, but or her music from the past, but that's where she's at. So she knows this business and she's a hardcore businesswoman. She went from when she was 16, she went to Florida, I think to Miami. She became super famous. She knows how to do press tours, she knows how to toot her own horn, all of that stuff. And she deliberately chose to stop with her music career, and then she had her child. She's a single mother, and then she thought, what's she gonna do next? And then she thought, okay, she's gonna launch her own coin. She got good crypto lawyers, one of the one of like famous crypto lawyers or something, and with them she launched her own coin. Now, the great thing about her is she understands and she listens. So she got the whole Solana community on her side, and she's doing interview with Solana guys. Everybody is promoting her coin, which is called Mother. She reached already 200 million market cap with it. Went down a little bit again. But she's doing the press tour this week. She launched her own shop with some. Oh, she's doing giveaways. Not giveaways, like charity work with the saving koalas. She created a couple of T-shirts. She's doing like Unreal Mobile, I think it's called, um, which um, which you can pay, which you can pay for um you can pay with her. Wait, let me remove some guys here. Okay, I don't allow. So I don't allow toxic meta framers in my comments. They all leave immediately. So then basically um another guy to remove. It's gonna take a while. I'm gonna have to remove a lot of people here. Um, so basically, then you can use that coin in order to buy something with her mobile monthly subscription. And she's probably going to launch also Dream Vault, which is going to be probably a competitor to Wish Tender, to Throne, and all of these kind of apps. And I think by launching Dream Vault in connection with her mother token, I think it will completely like revolutionize the idea of celebrities on Solana and them having success on um them having success in the crypto space. So okay, so and then the next thing, so Iggy is basically one of the top celebrities in the world, and she is actively promoting her coin, her business, and all of this stuff. And now comes the next part. Now this becomes super funny and interesting when you understand the whole story. So Andrew Tate launches his own coin, but he does it in an indirect way. And he doesn't super directly endorse it, but it's people on his team. Okay. And they engage about three people. This is going to be super interesting. They're going to engage, engage like three people, like key people. The first thing is a dude in Germany that creates just country codes, country coins. So on Solana, so he creates like country tokens. Germany, Poland, Romania. I don't know. He creates all of these country tokens, and he's a huge Tate fan. He appears to be somehow related to Tate. He's fairly young, but he seems like a nobody. So, but he's the guy who launches RNT, the coin. And then this is so fun, guys, if you really understand what's next. So, uh this is so fun. So, they launch a channel and that channel is connected to a group. The owner of the group is Andrew Tate, okay? It's official. And then another guy in the group, I posted some shit in the group just for kicks, and I'm just extremely smart. Anyway, so I posted some shit like for kicks in the group, and then an account called Tates, like not Tate, but Tates, like plural with his brother in the photo. He responds to it, and they seem to be triggered about my comment, which is which was hilarious. Just just the way that people are so fucking triggered by the like small things of the Tate guys, that they're so triggered so easily. It's super fun. Anyway, you can play with their emotions basically. Anyway, so but he's selling that name Tate's, and he bought it like for 100. He's trying to sell it like for a couple of thousand. Anyway, but actually, Cobra Tate, the official Cobra Tate, uh, um, Twitter, Telegram account by Tate himself, by Andrew Tate himself, is actually the owner of that group. Okay, let me remove that guy. Constantly have to remove people here. Okay, no problem. That's a good thing about having your own channel. You can just remove people that suck. So and this becomes super fun. So Andrew Tate starts to low key chill in his channels. He never does it directly, but he does it like low key, and he's like, "Well, this OnlyFans rapper, blah blah blah, porn star." He even calls her porn star. I think at some point he calls her porn star, and he never says her name. He just says porn star. And if you and then he makes a 15-minute video yesterday. It was 10-minute video saying that people will get good karma by holding RNT. It cannot get stupider. And 10 minutes rant of how crypto people are losers, but people who hold RNT are gonna get good karma instead of holding her coin. This is so fucking hilarious. Anyway, so he lost the crypto crowd completely. He lost the crypto crowd completely because he didn't make fans with the Solana dudes. Basically, he started a feud with the Solana dudes, with all the OGs on Solana, and he made a huge mistake doing that. Whereas Iggy made them her friends. And this is, I mean, he's running a coin on a chain, and he's starting a feud with the people who run the chain, basically. Kind of, you could say. And this whole thing is a massive community, and you cannot go against him. He made a huge mistake. Anyway, so it was super clear for me. It was super clear for me because he's not that smart. He's just smart for stupid people. That he was playing the defensive play, kind of seeing where it goes, and then being able to shit on everyone when it goes down and tell people how he's great when it goes up. That was so clear that he would never directly endorse it. Not it was basically a direct endorsement without saying it. That's the thing. So he basically lost because it was clear that he was all of his attention on it. He made at least one video a day which about it, which means that he was in close contact with the team that was running it. There were like 6, 7, 8 mods in there. So their plan was actually, this is the thing. Their actual plan was to make RNT huge. That was their actual plan. They wanted to make it bigger than hers. They wanted to be the largest coin on Solana. And exactly the opposite happened. And that is so fucking funny. And let me just remove another person here. And that is so fucking funny that he lost on that one. And the thing is, his ego is very strong. He's a strong narcissist, and I think just taking the loss is very hard for him to take. I think he's trying to shake it off and make it like ha 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 so fun, but he lost basically the most cultural movement of this generation. You have to understand that. This is like crypto is of this generation, this crypto, let's call it the crypto generation, is literally the most important movement in finance and culture that we've had like in at least 20 years. I mean, the first internet move, internet was nice, and definitely a big change in the internet was Facebook and YouTube, and direct messaging with Kick and then Messenger and all of that stuff on WhatsApp. But crypto is definitely defining will define a whole generation of young entrepreneurs and young people moving into financial freedom. And he fucked that up completely. But because Tate is basically a fiat guy, he made a lot of money in crypto. He actually, this is so funny because cr- Tate, what a lot of people don't know is that Tate made about 600K in webcams. Okay, it wasn't that much money in the beginning. He made about 600K in webcams, and then he took that money and he put it in crypto, and that was when Bitcoin was pretty small. He just put it in Bitcoin and some Solana and stuff, and he made a lot of money in crypto. I think probably 10x it or 20x it or more. So Tate actually made his first big money with crypto. A lot of people don't know that. So and probably I wouldn't be surprised if the casinos he was running, he was probably putting in crypto too. That money, that cash. So um anyway, and a lot of people don't know that. But that's also why he was able to say that he has like 1,000 in Bitcoin or something, 1,000 Bitcoins or something. I don't know. Whatever. So the funny thing, the super funny thing is that he wanted to become like the biggest person on the Solana chain with his, tokens, especially pumping two tokens, especially one token, which was RNT. And RNT dumped insane. I think it's not even worth 15 million right now. And and they're trying to desperately pump out videos. He's trying to say like people will get better karma if they buy RNT. You couldn't make this shit up. It's like it's a super desperate move. Anyway, so Iggy made a super smart move. I mean, she's on the road, but she's not even reacting to Tate. And I think that's the best thing ever. I think at some point she'll probably try to react, but I don't think she will react. It's so funny. And then Mert, who is a big guy in Solana also, he he retweeted some of that stuff, that feud kind of going on. It was super funny. And I think one of the smartest moves that Iggy made, and it was just genius. She's I don't know if she truly knows what she's saying in that regard, or if it was just like trolling him. It was super funny when she said about Vitalik, when she said, "Well, where are the gas fees going? What's up with that?" in the interview. That was so fucking funny. And now we come. Okay, so basically this is so funny. So basically I have to laugh about this. So Iggy is winning the race. She's the biggest celeb on Solana. Uh Tate lost the run. Basically he's losing everything basically in terms of like celeb status on Solana. And those two guys probably, it shows also that Tate is a nobody. It show and I said it basically, the people who buy his university are basically kids who are borrowing the credit card from their parents. It's pretty obvious. Like imagine 200,000 parents out there paying the credit card of their kids, so they're testosterone 15 years old trying to, become the next Tate. It's absolutely insane. I think parents should block the credit cards for those kids. Anyway, so um this is super funny to see, super funny to see. Anyway, so uh let me just remove a couple more guys here. And so what's gonna happen is, now how does this tie in with kin? It sounds unrealistic right now, but hear me out. So um Solana is becoming the celebrity chain. Every celeb that's gonna launch their own token, which is gonna be more and more, especially after Iggy does her celeb tour, press tour. It's pretty early in the morning, so I don't know for me. She's doing a press tour this week, and she ended up in Forbes crypto, Fortune crypto section, and she saw that article, and I think then she hired probably a PR firm or something, and she's doing a press tour. She's doing an excellent job, and she will put Solana and her project on the map, like until Main Street and Wall Street are talking about this 100%. And she's a winner. She doesn't give up. She's crazy. I would never bet against Iggy. Never. She might seem inconspicuous, because she seems like a typical OF woman that, doesn't know what she's doing. Oh my god, she knows what she's doing. She is smart. She's smart in a different way. She's like winner smart. She knows how to win, and that's what she's gonna do. Anyway, she should absolutely not get involved with Tate. That would be a complete PR disaster for her. So I don't hope she's not gonna pull the same shit as Jordan Peterson's daughter. Jesus fuck. If that was my daughter, I would be like, Jesus, you're so fucking stupid. Um Tate's Jordan Peterson's daughter totally fucked it up. Totally fucked it up by meeting Tate. I mean, that's gonna stick forever. Anyway, Jordan is probably like, oh my fucking god, what? That was stupid. Anyway, so Solana is going to become the celeb chain. We're probably just a year away until like big, un, more big stars are gonna join. I mean, Iggy, she is trying to revive her branding, especially with Solana crowd. And she received, I think, about 100,000 new followers in that time, but it's already going down. I think I have to check Social Blade. So she's having a tough time, I think, because the Solana crowd is not yet that huge. It's maybe like max a couple 100,000 people. But she's trying to bring mainstream on board. That's why she's doing the press tour. And this is going to be super interesting. Is who's going to come next, and when are the big ones going to come? Like Cristiano Ronaldo, and Messi, and Will Smith. I think they gonna come at some point. Rock the Rock. I mean, he's already Dwayne Johnson is already pretty old, so I don't think he will enter. But younger celebrities that and they're gonna come. They're gonna come. It's just a matter of time now. So Solana And the celebs. And by the way, you know what's funny? Is sometimes I feel like it's almost like planned by the Solana guys. It almost felt like it's planned by the Solana guys. I'm not sure if it is. I don't think it is, but it almost feels like that. It's just there is something I don't know. Maybe there's one guy in the Solana OGs that you know brought her on. I don't know. It's there's something going on. Anyway, so the big celebrities are gonna come on, and then you're going to see big money flowing in. I mean, literally, then you're gonna see Google, Apple, Microsoft. Maybe not those big ones yet, but you're gonna see, the OnlyFans companies, the consumer companies, the large consumer companies with great marketing teams. They're gonna try to come in. Might be Nike, might be Red Bull, whatever. Imagine Red Bull launching their own token. I would do it. And I think that also politics and politicians will see, or society itself, the rules and the regulations will see that they cannot stop this. And I think because it will become such a cultural phenomenon in the next 2, 3 years, I think that it will literally become a cultural pop culture thing. Everyone will have their own token. It's so obvious. So in that case, uh, we need, as with cryptocurrency and penny post launching, which is like the medium competitor, we need hip pop culture kind of projects launching on top of kin and penny post and code in order to get these celebs on there. I was thinking you could. I mean, the easiest crowd is, of course, the OF crowd because OF crowd are very easy to get into and try it out and just play with it. The celebrities are much harder. But if we could get somebody like Iggy onto Penny Post by launching some kind of Penny Post clone or something, because she's probably not going to post on something that's called Penny Post. But since it's open source and all of code and it is open source, we need to get her on that. And the more people uh that are in the pop culture on this in the Solana pop culture, we that's what I was thinking is I think I'm gonna launch a clone which is gonna be Solana. I'm gonna launch a penny post clone which is gonna be Solana, like what do you call it? uh Directed or branded. So it could be like Sol Block or something. I don't know. I'm gonna think of something, and then launch a Penny Post clone, and then bring the whole Solana community on there. Because I think Penny Post is not cool enough as a name to bring the Solana crowd on there. Because those are more like the NFT crowd, the hipster crowd, the Web3 cool crowd. They're not gonna find penny post very interesting. So in terms of like name branding, but it's open source, so you can clone it to 10 projects and to 10 domains and see which one pulls the best. It will cost you $100 max, and you can try it out. Or you can just buy a bunch of domains and then run a like a voting or something. I don't know. We'll figure something out. And that's, I think, where it's moving. So the whole thing about Andrew Tate and Iggy Azalea, with their Solana tokens and that mini feud, it wasn't really a feud because Iggy didn't say anything about Tate, but Tate said a lot about her mother. So it's so fucking funny, and it's just basically the beginning. So once we see real celeb OGs coming in, they'll take over the whole market. And somebody said it. I think Solana has maybe like 2 million people max, maybe 1 million people max. Phantom has like I think 2 million people in the wallet. But it's gonna be interesting when celebrities bring in these people because then we're talking literally millions and millions and millions and millions of people, and that's what is needed for this to go mainstream. Without the celebrities, I don't think crypto can go mainstream. So I think we're at the precipice of crypto going mainstream through through the celebrities, especially Iggy. And Iggy is kind of like a nerd. She's not really like a rapper. She's more like a nerd, and but she's a nerd with a lot of stamina and discipline, and so I think she is the perfect person to go with this. And she's an artist. She likes to be creative. She likes the meme culture. This is a perfect fit for her, and she knows it. So, and Kin and Penny Post, they should be part of it. They must be part of it, because if Kin and Penny Post miss that pop culture movement, then their only chance then is the circular economies in, smaller countries. So if, for example, like in Togo or in Nigeria or I don't know, in Argentina or something, if they can get something going there. But if they miss the pop culture thing, they're gonna miss the industrial countries. So it is literally important to launch this now in this Solana summer, and I think it's gonna happen. And as a kin community has to make sure, the kin community, I don't want to shit on them. I like those guys also, but they're very conservative. A lot of them are very conservative. So they're just like, you shouldn't be posting, like this, because I think we should keep more of a clean image and all of this. The world is moving in a different direction. It's that whole clean conservative image is done for. The pop culture is somewhere completely different, and we're talking about a pop culture of billions of people. We're not talking about, a couple million teens. We're talking about literally a whole new movement that is showing a big middle finger, a fuck you to establishment. It's basically like the hippies in the 60s. I don't know how many hippies there were. I'm pretty sure there were over 100 million. I don't know. Maybe not hardcore, but a little bit. So I think there's a big cultural shift with crypto, and we need to understand this in the community and move with it. That's also why I said to Ted Penny Post, uh, okay, if you want to stick with it, but I would pick a different name. I wouldn't. I literally wouldn't call it Penny Post. I would call it, something like Soul Soul Punks or something. I know Soul Punks is like an NFT, but there's something like, doesn't have to be Soul Punks. It could be anything. I'm more radical, so I'm gonna launch my own project, which is gonna be probably a more radical in the domain name. Um, I mean, they're launching open source, so they make it possible for anyone to join, and it needs people like me, or other people who are more out of the box, like avant-garde with this, so they can launch like crazy shit with this. Um, and yeah, because I think you always have this cyclical movement where pop culture becomes mainstream and then looks for another pop culture once it's mainstream. That's where Nirvana came from, basically. It's basically rock and roll becoming into grunge, and then becoming mainstream, and then looking for something else again. It's like waves in the ocean, and we have to literally, like, with the technology, we have to, like, pick two or three waves and be on them on the same time at the same time. So the mainstream wave, the pop culture wave, all of that stuff. Um so you cannot just have one image, basically. It would be saying, like, let's imagine, like, Apple You remember the Apple ads when Steve Jobs was CEO? They were pretty radical, especially in the beginning. So they were not just they were iconoclastic, they were paradigm shifting ads. I remember that. For Nike it was the same. Um yeah, it depends what who you're talking to, of course, what who you're trying to get on board. I feel like knowing the OF crowd, I feel like they've become mainstream without people wanting to admit or realizing that they're mainstream, because we're talking literally millions and millions and millions of creators and people. So a girl that is by the way, when I say OF crowd, I don't just mean people on OF. I mean the whole Instagram crowd. Basically all these girls trying to earn money by being influencers and OnlyFans and all of that stuff. They're not just 100,000, 200,000 like Solana. They're like, I remember that in OnlyFans, their biggest day was like 200,000 registrations per day. So we're talking millions and millions and millions and millions of people. I would guess around 50 to 100 million creators. No joke. In total, like Instagram, everything, probably even more. And it's going to become even more because in a lot of countries people are going online. So for example, one thing that I've realized, the last 5 years, Indian women from India did not come online much because it was against their culture, against the status quo. People would shit on them. If they did, they weren't on dating profiles. They weren't online. It was just a faux pas for Indian women to do this culturally. And what I've recognized the last 2 years, it's just the last 1 to 2 years, is a lot of Indian women coming online to search for, um, either Sims, or dating partners, or making money off of Instagram. It changed a lot. And then you of course have the apps like what was it called? I think it was called Chingari, and these kind of like new Indian apps. And because TikTok is banned in India, so they have Chingari, and they are putting crypto and um online, and that financial independence for people, for young people. They're putting it on the map. So we're gonna see a lot of stuff happening in that regard. And that's a huge opportunity, and we need to see how we can, you know um use it, instrumentalize it. And I think that Kin and Penny needs to come into the mainstream. It needs that pop culture thing to go into the mainstream. So, and that concludes it. The funny thing is really that Tate lost on this one, that Solana is becoming a celeb chain, and that we need to take advantage of that as the Kin community, and launch Penny now and see what we can do with it in that regard. And then it's gonna be super interesting. Now, I want to be realistic because I'm an OG in a lot of ways on these things, and I want to be clear on what I'm thinking about this. Now, Kin has a massive opportunity, but there's no guarantee in life about anything, and there's a lot of smart people in large companies and in companies in general, and we've seen that. I think Apple already had that. I thought they already have that. The NFC tipping kind of, where you tip someone else by tapping the phones together. You pay someone $20, say, by just tipping the phones together. Well, anyway, iPhone is making ads about this, and I believe they already did in the past. It doesn't seem new to me. Anyway, so They just put out an ad on this one, and that they you can tip two iPhones together, and just extremely quickly send $20, say, to one person to another person. And so you're gonna see a lot of this stuff. And the differentiator with Kin and Code, of course, it's that it's permissionless, non-custodial, and they have to move more and more in that direction. And they're not fully there yet. And on the other hand, on the extreme side of the other side, you have Bitcoin Lightning. And Ted Livingston from Code, he said one thing which I believe is wrong. He said that the Lightning Network cannot manage billions of users, and that's not true. I give you an example. The number of Lightning channels stayed about the same now in the last few years, I believe, but the capacity went up, and a Lightning channel can stay up for a long time. So it can stay up for like years if they want to. If both parties agree, the channel can stay up for years, so they don't have to settle on chain. And that means that just let's say a million of lightning channels can take care of the whole world without a problem. Just a few 100,000 would already do that. So I don't believe that Bitcoin Lightning is not good enough. I feel actually for normal payments, normal simple payments, Lightning will probably become the number one, because the Bitcoin OG maxis, they're just on top of it. They're running the show basically. Although Solana is trying to become more important, the Bitcoin guys are running the show. So, um, I mean, you can see it by El Salvador, or or certain areas in the world, picking up Bitcoin, that they are using that already for everyday transactions, and Kin is not there yet with Code. It's not being used for day-to-day transactions yet. So, the wildfire needs to start with Kin Code in order to compete against Bitcoin and Lightning. I actually think that Code, the only thing that they're competing against right now is actually Bitcoin Lightning. I don't think they're competing against Phantom, because that's more used like for storage and stuff. But it will be interesting to see who wins. But um it's sure that wallets and new existing and new wallets will encroach on Code's territory. So it will be interesting to see how this plays out. I just wanted to give my 2 cents and that funny story. And that's it.